Are your limiting beliefs secretly running your life? Hi, you guys. Welcome back to the Leveled Up Living podcast. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, something keeps pulling you back? Like, no matter what you do, whether you set alarms or put it in your planner, nothing works. You set goals, you say you're ready for a change, but somehow you end up in the same cycle again and again and again. Maybe you tell yourself you're not ready or that you'll start next week. Maybe you talk yourself out of things before you even begin. Or maybe you do start, you get a little bit of momentum, and then out of nowhere, that inner critic shows up saying, "Who do you think you are? You're not good enough for that. You always mess it up anyways." Well, that voice, that pattern, that pull that keeps dragging you back to your comfort zone, even when it's uncomfortable, those are your limiting beliefs running the show, okay? Yeah. And the wild part is, most of us don't even realize that we're living with them. And this is because they're so deeply rooted in our subconscious mind. They feel like the truth, like we don't even question it anymore. Okay, let's get into what a limiting belief really is at the end of the day. A limiting belief is a subconscious story that tells you who you are, what's possible for you, and what's safe. These beliefs form in your really early childhood years. And these beliefs form simply because when you were younger, you were just trying to make sense of what was going on in the world. So something happens. Maybe a teacher embarrassed you in class. Maybe you got ignored when you tried to share something that you were really proud of. Or maybe your parents fought about money and said things like, "People like us just don't get ahead." In that moment, your brain decided, okay, it's not safe to be seen, or it's not safe to fail, or it's not safe to succeed. And from that moment on, your subconscious runs that program over and over and over and over and over again just to protect you, just to keep you safe. So even as an adult, when you consciously want to change, your subconscious is still clinging to that old belief that you might not even know is there. So even as an adult, when you consciously want to change, your subconscious is still clinging to that old belief. So even as an adult, when you consciously want to change, your subconscious is still clinging to that old belief. You say, "I'm ready to start my business," but your subconscious says, "Nope, being seen is too dangerous for us." You say, "I want to find a healthy relationship," but your subconscious says, "Sorry, babe, love is pain." You say, "I want to make more money," but your subconscious says, No, people who have more money are the selfish ones." So you self-sabotage, you procrastinate, you overthink, you people please, and you start to hide your truth. And then you call yourself lazy, or you're mad that you won't get out of your own way, or it's just bad timing in your life. But I promise you, it's not that. It's your belief system just trying to keep you safe in this familiar environment. Even if the familiar is painful, it doesn't matter because your subconscious just wants you to be around things that are safe, that keep you alive. Okay, so let's make this real for a second. What does it look like when your limiting beliefs are running your life? So it looks like waking up every day feeling drained before the day even starts. Like you haven't even gotten out of bed, you haven't even put your feet in your cute little slippers to go brush your teeth and wash your face, and you're already exhausted. It also looks like doom scrolling on your social media, but also feeling behind. Like everyone else has it figured out, and you're trying to scroll to see, what can I do? Who can I be like? Stop trying to be like everybody else, okay? It also looks like wanting more out of your life, but convincing yourself that it's too late or it's too hard or it's not for you. It's all those subtle internal thoughts that you think sound innocent or you think will motivate you to do better, but those little moments become the invisible glass ceiling on your potential. It shows up when you talk yourself out of applying for that job, or when you stay in the relationship that continuously drains you because you don't think you can do any better, or when you say yes to everyone else but yourself. You start to think that you're the problem or like you don't have what it takes, when really at the end of the day, it's your belief system in the driver's seat. That's why I truly believe in my heart and soul that your mind is your biggest superpower. or it can be your biggest roadblock. And here's where it gets even deeper. Your limiting beliefs are not just mental, okay? They are physiological. So every time a limiting belief gets triggered, it sends a signal to your body that says, this isn't safe. So your nervous system starts firing off. You go into fight, flight, or freeze. And that's why you might freeze when you film a video or you procrastinate actually sending the email. Your body literally thinks there's a visible threat. Or maybe you get really anxious when things start going really well because your subconscious believes that the other shoe is about to drop. That's why this awareness is everything. It will change your life. I don't know how many times I need to say this, but you can never outwork your nervous system. You just can't. You can't out hustle your subconscious. You need to unmask what's going on underneath all the layers. And this isn't about forcing positive affirmations or pretending that you don't have any fear. It's about seeing the stories that you have been running from your entire life and then realizing they are not your truth, okay? When I say unmask, I mean pulling back the layers of conditioning that taught you to doubt yourself or to hide your light or shrink your potential. Because for so many of us, those masks kept us safe for so long, okay? The mask of perfectionism kept you from being criticized. The mask of people pleasing kept you from being rejected. The mask of overachieving made you feel worthy of love. But now, those same masks are suffocating you. They're the reason you feel disconnected, exhausted, or stuck in this autopilot. And here's the honest truth. The version of you that you're trying to become cannot breathe under those masks. And unmasking isn't about blaming your past. It's about taking your power back. It's about saying, I see where I came from. I understand why I built that wall to protect myself, but I don't need it anymore. Okay. So I first noticed my limiting beliefs come up in my life when I realized how often I would self-sabotage anytime there was a good opportunity that came up for me. So for me, my dream growing up for as long as I can remember was always to be a mom. So whenever I thought about my career, I never wanted to even think about that, touch it with a 10-foot pole, because I just associated being successful in your career as isolating. I would never have time for my family. I would never be the mom that could go to things. And once I saw that belief, I figured out I could finally change it. So I became very mindful and I stopped reacting and started choosing my responses. That's the power of awareness, okay? You can't heal what you can't name, okay? Seriously. And when you unmask those beliefs, you stop living in reaction, okay? And what a powerful place to be. You stop letting fear and old programming dictate your next move. You finally start living intentionally, mindfully, from your truth. And here's what I want to leave you with today. If you don't unmask your limiting beliefs, they will quietly be running the show for the rest of your life. They will choose what relationships you decide to be in. They'll dictate your income. They'll influence how you speak to yourself. They will keep you in survival mode, constantly trying to prove or earn your worth. And the saddest part, you'll start to believe that that's just who you are. But I'm here to tell you, it's not who you are. It's who you learned to be. Okay. And now you get to let them go. Okay. And once you see that, you have all the power back because you've had all the power all along. And this isn't to erase your past, but to rewrite the narrative so it stops controlling your future. So if any of this resonated, if you've been feeling stuck or like you've been living below your potential and you can't quite figure out why, that's exactly why I created my free live webinar, Unmask Your Limiting Beliefs. It's not fluffy mindset talk. It's a 30-minute deep dive where I help you start uncovering the beliefs that have been quietly shaping your life so you can finally see what's been standing between you and the life that you know you're meant to live. We will talk about how to identify your limiting beliefs, where they come from, and why they stick, and how they affect your emotions, relationships, and nervous system, and most importantly, how to start shifting out of them with awareness and compassion. So you'll leave this webinar with clarity, not because your life magically changes in 30 minutes, but because you'll finally understand what's been running the show behind the scenes. And awareness is everything. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Once you unmask the belief, that belief loses all the power over you. So if you're ready to stop living small, stop doubting yourself, and finally start stepping into who you were always meant to be, please feel free to click the link below and save your seat. It's completely free, and I promise you, this might be the most eye-opening 30 minutes you've had in a really long time. You deserve to know what's really been holding you back, and you deserve to be free from it. Okay? Okay, that's it for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below if this resonated with you at all. And don't forget to join my free live webinar, Unmask Your Limiting Beliefs. The link is below. I hope you had the best day, the best week. I love you so much. Forehead kiss. Bye, babes.